Hey, friend, welcome back. Accept and redirect. That's what we're going to have a conversation about today. So, what does that mean? Well, events are going to happen in our lives. And all of these events that happen, when we come from this place of, well, this was good or this was bad, that's when the conditioned mind creates a narrative. And when our conditioned mind creates the narrative, that is when we will either resist and create all kinds of frustration, anger, bitterness, disappointment in our lives. Or we can accept and then redirect. What does that mean? Well, this is a term that comes from martial arts. It's about taking the blow and being able to take the blow and move with it and allow it to move through the body. Now, for me, how I see this is like a cat. Like a cat can fall from, I don't know how many stories up. They can jump out of a tree. They can do all these things. And what they learn to do is they learn to take the shock throughout the entire body, allow for that transference and the transmutation of that shock to just flow through the body. That's what martial arts teaches you. Take the shock, let it flow through the body. And I'm just going to throw this in here. This is where we're moving for 2027. Taking the shock, transmuting it, putting it through the body. And then what we get to do is now we get to redirect that energy field. Instead of putting it into a negative narration, then we can just see the event as the event. Okay? It isn't about seeing it as good and bad. I know that that's what the mind wants to do. However, once you bust out of that perception, once you bust out of the 3D perception and the judgment of that 3D perception, then you recognize every single event in your life was put there for growth, for your next adventure, for a redirect. So now we get to accept, pull that shock through our bodies, allow for us to be the filters of the neutrino stream that we truly are. And then from there, redirect that energy into the next thing that you get to respond to, the next thing you get invited into, the next thing that you get to initiate, the next thing that is going to pull you in. But all too often, we get caught up in fear, anxiety, uncertainty, worry. Those are all the awareness centers in human design. And when we get stuck in there, and when we get stuck in that connotation, we're never able to actually fulfill our growth, step into our self-worth, really align to our own direction, and then manifest the life through aspiration, being aspired to the purpose. Because here's what's really fun, is that you're going to be assigned through society a role if you don't step in and stand in the role that you are already designed to represent. Society's going to come along and say, well, you should be doing this. Society's going to assign you with a job. Society assigns us because we look like we are walking around this planet with total undirection. I don't know if I want to say that. How do I want to say that? But we look like we can't direct our energy properly, so then someone else takes over. Now, has the cross of planning created this? Of course. Of course it has. It created this 412-year pattern of dumbing down society so that it could then operate. Now, it's not good, bad, right, wrong. It was how it is designed. what we get to do is see that we are choiceless in this. We can resist this, new awareness that is embarking on humanity for the next 412 years. We can resist it all we want. We can totally resist it. Or we learn to find our place in the cog in the wheel. So again, the cross-planning did what it needed to do. The Industrial Revolution happened. Everybody found their cog in the wheel. Everybody moved through. Those that couldn't make it decided to evacuate their bodies. And now we're moving into the same thing. It's this new cog in the wheel. It's this new, sky clock that's moving around. And all we get to do is now stand in the integrated self that we are designed for. That's it. It's as simple as it is. And then we get to accept and redirect the energy correctly. So if you want to learn how to do this, you want to step in and you want the tools, that's what I do. That's what I teach people. Not only do we talk about human design, but we talk about the tools to use to move forward, to lean into that awareness field so that you are quite literally operating in your space and time within the bigger picture of space and time. All right, jump in if you want. Talk to you later.